FridayNightGlory.com here with Parish Episcopal head coach, Coach Nady. How does it feel to be out here again with the blood, sweat, all that going again, knowing that the season's right around the corner?
Like all of us, the world makes sense again. It is, it's my favorite place to be. Feel back at home, and excited, wildly excited. It seems like the days are just going slower and slower. I want to get to the 29th, our first Monday Night Football game up in Arkansas, and if I could hit a fast forward button right now, I'd do it for sure.
Well, hey, now that you've had the summer workouts kind of go over there, and I know that that's a huge thing for your program, is to get guys prepared for these practices, because you got to be in shape and you got to be able to weather the storm of the heat here. Yep. So how do you think your team is prepared for that?
I think we've done a great job all summer. Our coaching staff's been involved. Our strength and conditioning coach, Travis Wilson, has done an incredible job getting everybody ready. We'll be the numbers-wise the smallest 5A team in the state. Everyone's going to have more numbers than us. Several programs have twice as many kids as us. But like I told them today, they can only play 11. So if they have 70 on the sidelines and we have 20, doesn't matter. 11 on 11, and our 11 are going to be prepared and going to go hard.
Well, I was listening to you talk to your team here at the end of practice here, and you stated it's kind of some prehab work.
100%.
Is about getting those little nagging things addressed before they become major items, I guess. And I know that's a really key thing for you guys with the numbers you have.
Yeah, we've won state here twice in the last 5 years, and I know this might make those two teams angry, but those probably weren't my best teams, here. But they were my healthiest teams, and oftentimes the team that wins state is the healthiest team. It's a game of attrition. It's 14 games to win state. And in the 2 years we won state, we had one boy injured on either one of those teams, just one kid. And several years we had 7, 8, 9 kids injured in our game when we were eliminated. And so it's we're gonna do our best to be smart on the practice field, take care of our bodies off the field, and hopefully, knock on wood, we'll have opportunity to stay healthy and make a run.
Well, I know that you've got your numbers-wise that you're not maybe where you would like them to be at, but and you've got to like some of the experience and the pedigree that you do have in some of your seniors this year.
100%. It's probably our strongest senior class we've ever had. We've got several kids that have been in the program since they were baby boys, and a few joined us in 9th grade, and we got some difference makers, and they've taken on a real leadership role. I took all the seniors to Mexico with me, down to Cabo San Lucas last month, and we put on a free football clinic down in Cabo. It was a great bonding experience, and and I got to see them kind of out of this place in another setting, and watch them lead kids they didn't know, and it was inspiring. And I knew when we flew back, I had the right bunch.
Wow, that's got to be really major experience for those kids to get out there and be able to give back a little bit also. And like you said, again, that team bonding that you get from that, and the unity of spending several days together away from this environment, the football field or the classroom. Man, I can't imagine what a benefit was for the team.
Football's about chemistry. Is it about size, speed, execution? Sure, those are all important things, but chemistry is paramount. And what it did for our chemistry was incredible. And I had a few boys on the team that had never seen the ocean before. So to stand next to a boy the first time he looks out of salt water, for me, is an incredible experience, Sure. And then just to see them work with each other and work with other young kids, who we are at Parish, we're a service-based community, we're based on, we take a lot of pride in serving others. And to see them embody that, in a public way and represent our community in the way they did, it was it had very little to do with football. It had much more to do with who we want to be. And do we want to win? Absolutely. Do we want to make a run to state? 100%. Do we want to play good on Friday nights? You bet. But more importantly, we want to raise good men. We want to raise guys that are going to not only compete but compete right. And be who we want them to be off the field. So I'm proud of this bunch. I'm excited.
That's kind of the pledge of being a coach, isn't it? Is to be a mentor of young men, to develop them as men and as adults and responsible adults. And I guess that's got to be rubbing that good part of the heart there a little bit when you get that event.
100%. It's depressing when you pick up the sports page and it's about this rape and this assault and this battery and this theft and you start to ask yourself, what am I doing for a living? What is our collective football family telling the world who we are, right? And it means much more to me who we are than what we do, on Friday nights. Hopefully they're symbiotic. Hopefully, one leads to success in the other. But if I have to choose between the two, I'm going to make darn sure we're raising good men, and they love each other, so they're going to play hard.
That's well phrased. And any new angst with the new district that you go on this time coming up? Is it kind of still the same protocol, standard protocols they've always been?
We had a pretty darn good district last year. Grapevine Faith, I think, would do well in 5A. Fort Worth Christian do well in 5A. I don't think we'll win too many pregame stretch periods. If they keep scoring pregame, we're probably going to lose every game. So I think several schools are going to look much better in their uniforms than we will. And they'll look a lot more impressive in the stretch lines because we won't have very many. But I like our chances. Last time I checked, it was about blocking and tackling and playing hard and being in shape and loving each other, and that hadn't changed since the turn of the century. So we're going to play as hard as we can, regardless of the score, and we're going to play for 4 quarters. We're going to play because we love each other, and we're going to play because it matters. And I'm excited to be a small part of what we're doing this year. This is my last year at Parish. And I'm gonna hopefully make it a memorable one.
Well, I was going to kind of allude to that a little bit. It's kind of got to be a little bittersweet here a little bit going through all these last time around, first time, last time around. Yeah. You kind of almost count it a little bit in the back of your mind. You want to leave that last staple here a little bit that, when you walk out of here, you're going to feel pretty good about that, going forward. And how is the team kind of taking that, knowing it's your last year?
It was a risk to tell them, and I'm leaving on my own accord. When I got here, this was a cow pasture. We didn't own a leather football, and so I was fortunate enough to be able to build all of this. And after 14 years, I feel that I've kind of taken it as far as I could take it. I'm a challenge junkie, so I'm looking for the next mountain to climb. But when I told these guys, I told them because I love them. And when I was in college, I learned my college football coach had left on ESPN, right? And that kind of scarred me, And once I knew, I thought not telling them that day would be a lie, And I didn't want to lie to them. And so I told them, look, every day we'll know that, a lot of times in life you say, well, had I known that guy was going to die, had I known this was going to happen, I would have done this, and this differently. And one of our staples in our program, we say the most expensive thing in the world is regret, and we want to make sure that our kids don't have that. So I want to make sure that the experience every single day is valuable, and it's seen for what it is, a special opportunity, right? And for me and for them. And just because I won't be the coach here doesn't mean we stop being a family. If you see our practice jerseys, they don't say Parish, they don't say Panthers, they don't say anything about football. They say family on the front and never quit on the back. And this is who we are and that's what we do. And that won't change. And I love this place with all my heart. And I love these boys. And we're going to try to make it memorable on and off the field.
Well, that's kind of a life lesson that you're giving these kids here too. Again, is to face your decisions,
100%.
Regardless if they're popular or not, but to be a man and stand behind that. It's teaching these guys that, even coach knows that he's going to leave here at the end, but he told us well in advance, so we know what's coming.
Yeah, oftentimes the truth isn't easy and the truth isn't fun, but the truth is truth. Sure. My daddy used to say the truth on Monday is the truth on Sunday, and it doesn't change. And so, 80% of what we do in this program has nothing to do with football, but you wrap it in football, and you make the kids think it's all football. Sure. But at the end of the day, when they get older, they'll realize, it was very little football. It had a lot to do about life, and that's what we're about. That's what we're about. And we've been fortunate enough to have a lot of success here on the football field. But, I told somebody last week, I don't know if it's a successful season until 10 years later. We win the state championship. But if they grow up to be bad men, bad husbands, bad fathers, bad Americans, it was a terrible season, And so I've got a 10-year incubation. So I hope this is a good year, but I won't know until 2026, And that'll be it'll be a blessing to watch them compete after they leave here.
Well, that's wonderful, Coach. We appreciate you getting us a couple moments out of here.
Man, I
best of luck to you going here in the season, and congratulations in your path going forward after this.
I appreciate
Congratulations,
that.
man. Appreciate
Thanks so much.
All right, man. Have a good